Couples Therapy.
Brought to you by Lion's Den, the official store of pleasure, passion, and romance. Oh, man, Sarah. Sarah wants some advice. She says, hey, guys, I hope this qualifies for couples therapy. I'm single mom in my 40s and would love to meet someone and get married again. I've been on the dating apps for several years, and about 2 years ago, I met a man, and I will call him Tom, she says.
I don't think that's his real name, Rick.
Right. That's what she said. She said, I will call him Tom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She said, we went out. He was interesting and nice, and I enjoyed his company, but I wasn't romantically attracted. I was honest that I didn't think we were a romantic match, but that I really enjoyed the date. He told me if I ever changed my mind, he was interested in a relationship. For whatever reason, we ended up keeping in contact after that conversation, and 2 years later, we have a really great friendship. We hang out, we text, talk on the phone, and at this point, my friends and family know him. Well, right around Thanksgiving, he told me he met someone on Hinge, and they had been out a few times and were hitting it off. You'd think I'd be happy for him, but I felt sick inside when he told me that. I am so surprised at how jealous I feel. Do I tell him or keep my mouth shut because I missed my chance? Help. Oh, it's that force in the universe, that power that you see somebody with somebody else, and all of a sudden, oh no, what have I done? What is it? Well, it's like the wedding ring thing. Why?
So what's your advice?
You have nothing to lose. Go ahead, tell him. You have I suppose you have a friendship to lose. But you're obviously not in the friend zone anymore. You've changed that. If you're jealous, it's not a friendship. You feel differently.
I absolutely feel differently. You need to keep your mouth shut here.
Ooh.
You had 2 years with this guy who expressed the fact that he wanted to be in a relationship with you. You stated unequivocally that you were not interested romantically, and you never pursued a romantic relationship in those 2 years of your friendship. Now that he is with somebody else and you are jealous, you have to wait your turn. You have to wait and see if this thing works with this person or fails. And if it fails, be my guest. You can tell him all your feelings. But right now, it is absolutely selfish of you if you tell him how you feel. Because, I don't know, man. You never wanted to, be physical with this guy in 2 years. But all of a sudden, now that somebody else likes him, you have to really explore this feeling. Are you wanting to have kids with this guy? Are you?
Well, I mean, she's in her 40s.
What does it? Okay, right. Okay, maybe we're past that. But I'm just saying, explore whether if you had him, if you'd be wanting to get married and be intimate with this guy. You didn't want to be intimate for these 2 years. And all of a sudden that's changed. I would absolutely wait on this. It is too selfish for you to tell him now.
I want to correct one thing I said. I said she has nothing to lose. And then I thought, well, she might lose a friendship. I'm going to say this. If he gets into a serious relationship with this girl he's dated, that their friendship's going to end anyway. I don't believe they'll be able to continue to be friends.
Right.
The way they have been, because his new girl's going to find out the history of this story, and she's not going to be comfortable with that.
I want to know how you feel if their relationship doesn't work out. Do you go back to feeling like you just want to be friends, or do you still want to pursue?
Oh, that's when
Kelly,
you
make your move.
Yeah, I didn't think about it that way, but man, that's tough.
What would you do, Liz?
Well, let's call this guy Tom for anonymity. You always want what you can't have. And I tend to agree with, while there is the whole, if I don't say something now, am I going to miss my chance forever? You've already missed your chance forever, potentially, because you didn't act on it when you could have. So you can't wreck this guy's world because you were too slow to take action. So I agree with Kelly in the sense that you have to suck that up and wait for the next thing to come along. Because it's not fair to, throw a wrench in this dude's world because you didn't move fast enough.
What if telling him might be doing a favor for everybody? Because what if he's settling for this other girl?
But that's on him.
But he'd rather be with Sarah here. What if Tom would rather be with Sarah, but he can't be, so he's going out with somebody else, and he would maybe jump at the chance?
I think Sarah needs to pump the brakes here on this. See how this thing works out. You guys are such good friends. I'm assuming he's going to be keeping you up to date on how the relationship's going. And if it seems to not be a great match, or it seems like he's not that happy and he's just dating her to be with somebody, you can see over time how this thing plays out. But to jump in the middle of something new when you had 2 years to be with this guy and you wouldn't do it.
I don't know, man. You only live once. Sometimes you got to shoot your shot.
I think it's selfish. I think that I think that move would say a lot about you, and what it would say is that you are a selfish person.
Yeah. Now, I think if it doesn't work out, let's say it doesn't work out for whatever reason, then you got to be like a vulture and swoop in and hey, and then you fill them with that BS that they like to hear. Hey, this didn't work out. Let's just try it and see what happens. That's your way in. But yeah, you can't wreck the dude's world.
John says you only want him now because he's taken.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's like what I said, man.
So I'm saying you always want what you can't have.
What is that?
What is it?
Again, you can have something forever, and then if it goes away, you're like, oh man, I don't have that anymore, and then you want it back. It's just human nature. So you gotta. The KQ over there has the right idea.
Richard says sometimes it takes a shock to open your eyes to feelings.
Yep.
So don't let it fester. Richard says go ahead and tell him.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Steve says it's the same thing as taking a toy that's near, taking a toy away that's near a child. They didn't want it until you had it. Now they want it.
Absolutely. It's exactly what it is.
All right, Sarah. Well.
Oh, I advise you to hold. Like I said, I'd keep your mouth shut for now, Sarah. I really would. I don't think it's the right thing to do.
So just be quiet and hope that it doesn't work out. And if it doesn't work out,
jump in, baby.
If you feel that way,
jump in.
Yeah, if it doesn't work out and he ends up alone,
right,
and then you still feel like, okay, I'm not blowing it this time, then go ahead,
right.
But if all of a sudden you're like, oh well,
you have come to grips with how you feel about quote unquote Tom. So if this doesn't work out, you don't even wait for the body to be cold. You jump right in.
Hey, Carrie says it sounds like Ross and Rachel from Friends, and it's true.
Yes,
like Rachel had to go all the way up to the wedding and beyond to be able to find out that Ross really loved her and said her name during the vows. So remember how that worked out? It didn't work out great. Like you've got to keep your No, just wait and see how this plays out. Sarah, just wait.
Does the real world ever work out like television?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah, I guess it does. We see it all the time. All right, Sarah. Well, I hope that was helpful. I usually will go with Kelly at the end of the day because she's got the most common sense in the room.